thank you so much for joining class today. Let's go ahead and lie down on our backs to get warmed up. So we're gonna lay all the way down and hug the knees in toward the chest and hold. Okay, we'll go ahead and lower the feet down, let the feet rest on the mat. We're going to lengthen the arms down to the sides. And we'll go ahead and roll the head from side to side. We'll go as far as you can to each side to help loosen up the neck, get things stretched out, releasing any tension you might have. Good. All right, then we're going to warm up our shoulders. So work our way down. We're going to lengthen up, overhead as far as you can reach, back up, and down next to the hips. So lengthen up, reach overhead, up, and down. So lengthening and stretching as far as you can as you go overhead. Again, warm up those shoulders, get everything loosened up. Good. All right, then we're going to lengthen our arms out to the sides. We want our palms to face up. And we're going to go ahead and slide the arms, reach straight overhead, and then slide and reach all the way down to the hips. So nice full range of motion, lengthening and stretching. Good. All right, we're going to work down to the lower back. So let's go ahead and tilt the pelvis. We're going to rock forward as we press the tailbone down and arch the lower back up. And then we'll rock back as we lift the tailbone and press the lower back down. So again, we'll just rock forward and back, going as far as we can in each direction. Again, just trying to loosen up any tightness or tension you've got in the lower back. Good, all right, and we're gonna work down to the hips and more on the spine. So we're gonna bring our legs about hips width apart. We want our feet resting right under the knees. Open the chest, and we're gonna go ahead and tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, draw the lower abs in, bring the lower back up off of the mat, and then roll back down nice and slow. So again, we'll tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, just so the lower half of the back comes up, and then roll back down. Feel each part of the spine press down tight as you lower. Again, we're warming up the spine and the hips, everything loosened up. Good, all right, and we're gonna reach the right leg straight up toward the ceiling, and we're going to circle it around, so you're reaching as far as you can, up, out to the side, down, and across, keeping the rest of the body completely stable. And then let's reverse directions. And that nice full range of motion. Again, we want to open up and stretch out the hip. Good, let's switch to the opposite side. Again, lengthening and reaching with that nice full range of motion. Make sure that the back of the hips stay anchored. You don't want the pelvis to be rocking or tilting back and forth. And then let's reverse directions. Again, keep that opposite leg stable. Upper body anchored. Good, and we'll lower down. All right, so we're gonna keep our knees bent, legs about hips width apart. We're gonna use the abs to lift the head and shoulders, so we're not just rolling them forward. They're staying back, but we're using the abs to lift up. Gently draw the chin in, lengthen our arms down to the sides, and we're gonna pulse quickly. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. So the arms are lengthened and activated. Again, we don't want to look up toward the ceiling. That puts a lot of stress on the neck. So we're keeping that chin knotted in, trying to isolate those lower abs. Again, inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Good, and let's go ahead and roll back down. So we're going to lift both legs up, keeping our knees bent. Again, we want to draw the navel in. Remember to keep those lower abs activated. We're not pressing out, we're just tightening. We want to scoop in, kind of hollow out those lower abs. Keep the entire back anchored. And we're going to go ahead and lower down one leg at a time, so toe to the floor, come right back up. and alternate sides. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale and exhale. So keep that entire back anchored. Neck and shoulder muscles should stay relaxed. And again, we're not just bending the knee, we're actually dropping that leg, hinging at the hip. One more on each side. All right, then we're gonna press both legs together. Same thing, we're keeping those knees bent, abdominals drawn in without pressing the abs out. We're lowering both legs down and coming right back up. Exhale down, inhale up. Nice controlled movement. Inhale and exhale. Good, again, keep those neck muscles relaxed. Again, we're not just bending at the knees. The knees are staying at a 90-degree angle. We're dropping the legs away. Good, and let's go ahead and lower back down. All right, so again, we're gonna lift our head and shoulders up using the abdominals. Nod the chin, lengthen our arms down to the sides. Pull one knee in, opposite leg is gonna reach out. We'll alternate sides. So again, we're keeping the arms lengthened and activated. Pull the knee in toward you as far as you can. Lengthen and reach that opposite leg. And breathe. Again, be careful that you don't start to shrug the shoulders. We want to keep them pressed down. Good. All right, let's lower down. Hug the knees in toward the chest. And again, we're going to lift head and shoulders, nod the chin. We're going to pull the knees in, lengthen the arms down to the sides as we reach out. Inhale in, exhale out. If this bothers your back, or you find that you're arching or lifting in the back, bring the legs up a little bit higher, or you can just keep those knees bent just slightly as you reach out. Exhale, reach, inhale in, head and shoulders should stay stable. Good, we'll go for one more. All right, we'll hug in, lower down. Let's bring our arms down to the sides. We're gonna reach both legs straight up. Again, if this puts strain on your hips or your lower back, just bend your knees slightly. We're gonna keep that entire back anchored. Lower down one leg straight away from the body. Come all the way back up and alternate sides. So again, you can bend the knees slightly if that puts strain on your back. Exhale down, inhale up. Nice controlled movement. Again, lowering down as far as you can, coming all the way back up. Good, lengthen and reach those legs if you can. All right, then we're gonna keep the legs lifted, press our legs together, draw the navel in toward the spine. We're gonna go ahead and lower both legs down, away from the body, come right back up. So again, on this one, it's really important to make sure that you're not feeling a strain in the lower back. If you are, don't lower down quite as far, or again, just bend the knees slightly to keep the strain off of the back and the hips. Inhale up, exhale down, nice and controlled. Again, check the neck, make sure you're not holding tension there. Good, all right. Then we're gonna lower both legs back down. All right, so again, we're gonna lift our legs up. Lift head and shoulders, nod the chin in. Pulse quickly with the arms. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Again, if this bothers the back or the hips, just bend your knees slightly. Or if you want more of a challenge, you can lower the legs down even farther. So again, inhale for 5, exhale for 5, reaching those legs if you can. Draw the lower abs in nice and tight. Check the neck, make sure you're not holding tension. Good, inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Good, let's lower down, and we'll hug the knees in. All right, so we're gonna go through that series one more time. So we're gonna lift head and shoulders, nod the chin, lengthen the arms, one knee in, opposite leg reaches out. We're going to alternate sides. Steady, deep breaths. Keep those shoulders lifted. Draw the lower abs in, nice and tight. Good, we're gonna start to feel a little bit of a burn on this second round through. We'll lower down. And again, we're gonna lift head and shoulders, nod the chin. Again, we're not shrugging the shoulders. They're staying pressed down but lifted. Pull the knees in, lengthen and reach out. Inhale in, exhale out. Again, if this puts a strain on your back, just lift those legs up higher, or keep the knees bent slightly as you reach out. Exhale and inhale. Keep that chin knotted in. Try to keep that lower back from lifting or arching. Let's lower. Bring arms down to the sides. Reach both legs straight up. Again, draw the navel in toward the spine. Back is anchored. We're going to lower down one leg at a time. Alternate sides. So again, inhale as we come up. Exhale as we lower. And again, if this bothers your back, just go ahead and bend the knees. Good. Again, we're drawing the navel in toward the spine. We're not pushing those lower abs out. Think about a string being tied to the inside of the belly button and you're pulling it down toward the spine. All right, so let's press both legs together. Keep the upper body anchored. We're gonna lower both legs down and come all the way back up. Exhale and inhale. Again, find a spot where you feel like you start to push the abs out or string your back. And you want to stop at that point and come right back up. And again, you can always bend the knees if it puts stress on your back. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Breathe through it, and let's lower. All right, last one in our series, we're gonna reach both legs up. Lift head and shoulders, nod the chin, and pulse. Again, we're not shrugging the shoulders, just keeping them lifted off of the mat. For more of a challenge, lower down, or if that puts a lot of strain on your back, just go ahead and bend the knees. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Nice quick rhythm. Good, check that neck. You want to keep that chin gently knotted in toward the chest, just to keep any strain off of the neck. All right, let's lower down. All right, let's sit all the way up. And we're gonna reach both legs straight out to the front. So you wanna sit up nice and tall. If this puts stress on your hips or your lower back, just go ahead and bend the knees slightly to keep the feet flexed. We're gonna start off reaching our arms out. Stretch straight forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale as you go forward. You're gently nodding that chin in. Inhale up. Exhale forward. The arms are staying lengthened and activated. Reaching forward. Try to keep the legs and the lower body stable. And again, stacking those vertebrae, sitting as tall as you can at the top. And inhale up. Exhale forward. Good, then we're gonna lengthen the arms out with the palms facing up toward the ceiling, sitting as tall as we can, drawing the lower abdominals in. Head, shoulders, and arms move as a unit. You're twisting in the waist to the side and back to the center. Alternating sides. Keep those arms lifted and lengthened. Exhale to the side, inhale to the center. Again, exhale, inhale. Head, shoulders, and arms all move as a unit. So you're not just moving the arms from side to side, we're actually rotating. Good. All right, we're gonna go back forward again. Lengthen and reach the arms. Again, lengthen out. Inhale up at the top. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Keep those legs stable. Feet flexed. Again, you're drawing in on those lower abdominals. As you stretch forward, gently nod the chin in and reach. One more. Good. All right, then we're going to bring arms out to the sides. Palms facing up again. So we're reaching and activating the arms. Rotate to the side and back to the center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to the center. So again, you're drawing that navel in toward the spine. Keep the lower body stable. And as you twist to the side, slide the shoulder blades back to open the chest further. Good, keep those legs nice and stable. Last one on each side, go a little bit deeper. Good, all right. Let's roll so that we're lying face down on the mat. We're gonna go ahead and reach both arms overhead. We're going to press the hands into the floor, straighten the arms and lift the elbows. So again, the arms are active. You're pushing down, lengthening. Keep the head lifted, chin nodded in. We're gonna go ahead and lift both legs up, and to start, we'll do an alternating flutter kick. So straighten and lengthen, nice quick rhythm, using the hamstrings. So reach and lengthen. We want to slide the shoulder blades down the back. So again, we're not shrugging up. The whole body is reaching. Good, let's lower down. We're gonna go ahead and again, lift the elbows, lengthen the arms. We're lifting the legs. Let's squeeze the legs together and bring them back out to the sides. So we'll just continue to squeeze together and lengthen out. Again, squeeze and out. So again, we're reaching the arms. We want to keep the head lifted, chin nodded in. Slide the shoulder blades down the back so that we're not shrugging the shoulders, and breathe. Good, let's go ahead and lower back down. So we're gonna go back to the first set where we lift it up and we just do an alternating flutter kick. Keeping the front of the hips pressed down. Again, we're reaching and lengthening the body. We wanna breathe and really focus again on using the hamstrings to lift and reach. Good, and then we're gonna lower back down. And then next we'll lift our legs up. And again, we squeeze together and out to the side. So squeeze, and then come about hips width apart. Keeping those legs reaching and lengthened. Check the neck. Make sure you're not holding any tension there. And again, we want to push the shoulder blades down the back. Elbows lifted, arms lengthened. Good, and we'll go ahead and lower back down. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and prop up onto the elbows. So we're bringing our elbows right under the shoulders. Again, lengthening our forearms out. Again, we don't want to sink into the shoulders like this. We're pulling the shoulders down the back. Gently nod that chin in. We're gonna go ahead and lift up onto the feet and hold. So if this bothers your back or feels like too much, just go ahead and drop down onto the knees, but keep the abs drawn in and hips lifted. Otherwise, you can go ahead and lift up and hold. And if you want even more of a challenge, you can lift up one leg at a time and alternate sides. Just making sure that you're keeping the hips lifted and level. So again, nice full deep breaths. Drawing in and up on the abdominals. Check the neck. Want to make sure we're not holding tension there. Breathe through it. Good, all right, let's lower back down. So once more, same thing. We'll go ahead and keep those elbows under the shoulders, lengthening our forearms straight out from the elbows. Again, we don't want to sink down into the shoulders. We're pressing those shoulders down, lifting up. We're drawing in on the lower abs. And if you do want more of a challenge, you can go ahead and rock forward and back. You're rocking back onto the balls of the feet, pressing forward onto the toes. But make sure you're keeping those hips lifted and lengthened. Good, drawing on those abs. Check the neck. Good, nice deep breaths. All right, we'll go ahead and lower down, nice job. So let's sit all the way up. And we're going to lengthen our legs back out again after we work those hamstrings a little bit. So again, in this position, if you can, you want to anchor those legs, flex the feet. If that puts a lot of stress on your back, just bend the knees slightly. We want to sit up nice and tall. We're bringing hands behind the head. So remember, we're drawing in, kind of pulling everything in nice and tight in those lower abs. That helps kind of put some pressure on that spine to help lengthen and stretch it up. We're going to bring hands behind the head with the elbows out. Again, we're not pushing on the head. we're just placing the hands on the back of the head. Nice deep breath at the top. Exhale as we come forward. So deep breath in and exhale forward. So we're drawing up as tall as we can at the top and then lengthening out toward the feet as far as we can. Again, inhale up, exhale forward. Inhale and exhale. Keep those elbows out. Be careful that the shoulders don't start to slide up. We want to keep them pressed down. Good. Legs stay stable, feet flexed. And then we're going to go ahead and bring arms out to the sides with palms facing forward. Again, we're sliding the shoulder blades down the back, drawing in on those lower abdominals. We're twisting in the waist, reaching across the outside of the opposite foot. Come up to a tall back at the center. Exhale forward, inhale up. So the neck and shoulders should stay relaxed. You're focusing, again, I'm using the quads, the hips, the abs, that entire core to keep control. And as you're reaching across, this palm is reaching away from the body, opposite palm is pressing toward the body. So again, inhale up, exhale forward. Those palms are pressing in opposite directions. Good, keep the legs stable, feet flexed. All right, then we're gonna go back to that series again. So we're gonna anchor the legs, flex our feet, nice tall posture, hands behind the head. Again, we're lengthening up and forward. Inhale up, exhale forward. Inhale, exhale. So again, we're lengthening up nice and tall, stretching out toward the feet. Good. Again, lengthen that spine. All right, we're gonna bring our arms back out to the sides with palms facing forward, sliding shoulder blades down, rotating in the waist, reaching and stretching forward. Inhale up to the center, exhale forward. Inhale, exhale. So again, those palms are pressing in opposite directions as you're reaching across. We want the legs to stay stable and anchored. One more on each side. Good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna roll onto the side. And we're gonna start on either side. So line up your hip and shoulder toward the back of the mat. Just go ahead and prop the head up, relax the neck. Let's straighten our legs, angle them forward slightly from the hips. Keep this top hand pressed into the mat. So again, we want the neck to relax, press the shoulders down away from the ears. So we're gonna open the leg so the knee points up toward the ceiling. Lift straight up, straight down. Exhale up, inhale down. Nice controlled movement. Remember, as you lower, you're actively pressing the leg down. So we're reaching and lengthening through the toes. Again, keep that neck relaxed. Good, and we're gonna lift straight up. Hinge at the knee, bend, come all the way down, and slide out. So straight up, bend, and out. We want that knee, again, to point up toward the ceiling. We're lifting as high as we can. And then as we bend, we're bringing the toe all the way down to that bottom leg. Good, we're going to reverse directions. So we'll slide up, straighten, and reach. So again, up, lengthen, out. Keeping that toe sliding along the leg all the way up. Keep that upper body stable. Good, one more. All right, then we're gonna lift the leg up just to the height of the hip. Reach it straight out to the front, and then reach it straight behind. So we're gonna point the toe all the way through. The leg stays at the height of the hip. And as you reach behind, you don't want your hip to roll in. You wanna keep it just slightly open. We wanna make sure that the core and the hip stays completely stable. reaching as far as you can, but again, maintaining stability in the core. Bottom leg should stay pressed down. Good. All right, we're gonna bend our knees, keep our feet pressed together, and then we'll bring the feet toward the back of the mat, and let's go ahead and open up, lengthen out, down, and close. So keeping the feet pressed together. Again, we're just rotating the hips, so we're not leaning back. We're rotating, lengthening, down, and close. So again, check your neck and shoulders. Make sure the neck is relaxed, shoulders are pressed down. Good, steady, deep breaths. Don't forget about our lower abs. We want to draw them in nice and tight, just to give that extra support to the core. Good, so again, we're gonna go through this series once more, so we're really gonna feel that on this hip. So to start, again, we're gonna open the hip, lift straight up, straight down. So we're lengthening and reaching through those toes. Exhale up, inhale down. Again, that bottom leg should stay lengthened and anchored. Pull those shoulders down away from the ears. Good, then we're gonna go straight up, hinge at that knee, bend all the way down, and slide out. Straight up, bend, and out. And getting that knee to point up toward the ceiling, bringing the toe all the way down. Good, we'll reverse. So we're gonna slide up as high as we can, lengthen and reach. Again, draw that navel in toward the spine. Good, again, be careful those shoulders don't start to shrug up. We wanna keep them pressed down, nice long neck. All right, then we're gonna bring the leg up to the height of the hip, reach it straight out and straight back. So again, as we're extending back, we're not letting the hip or core roll forward. We're staying completely stable and just extending back in this hip joint. Bottom leg should stay pressed down. Good, steady, deep breaths. And again, getting that full range of motion. All right, let's bend our knees. And one more set, so we're gonna open up, lengthen out, down, and close. So open, reach, and close. Good. Again, we're just hinging at that knee. Steady, deep breaths. And again, just make sure that the neck is staying relaxed. Shoulders should stay pressed down. Good, all right, definitely feel that on the hip. Let's switch over. We'll do the opposite side. So we're gonna line up the hip and shoulder again toward the back of the mat. Lower down, prop the head up, relax the neck and shoulders. Lengthen our legs, angle them forward slightly from the hips. Again, that top hinge can stay pressed into the mat. We're gonna open the hip so the knee and toes point up, and we'll lift straight up, straight down. Exhale, inhale. Again, exhale up, inhale down. Again, we're drawing that navel in toward the spine. Reach and lengthen through the toes. And exhale, inhale. And again, as we lower, we're actively pressing that leg down. All right, let's go ahead and lift straight up. We're hinging at the knee. We'll bend and slide all the way out. So up, bend, bring the toe all the way to that bottom leg, and reach. So again, you don't just want to bend halfway and then press out. We're coming straight up, coming all the way down. All right, let's go ahead and reverse. So again, we're gonna slide up as high as we can before we straighten and reach. So again, exhale up, inhale down. Exhale, and inhale. Check those shoulders, check the neck. We wanna make sure we're not holding tension there or shrugging the shoulders. Good, last one. Then let's bring the leg up to the height of the hip. And we'll go ahead and point the toe, reach straight out to the front, and then we're reaching straight straight behind. So we're really focusing on using the hamstring on the back of the leg. Again, we're keeping this hip and the core stable. We're not letting it tilt or arch forward. Again, don't forget about that bottom leg. Keep it pressed down and anchored. Last one. All right, let's bend our knees. Bring our feet to the back of the mat. And again, we're gonna go ahead and open, lengthen out, down, and close. So again, just rotating in that hip joint. As we reach out, hinging at the knee, lengthen, hinge down, and close. So again, lots to think about on this one. Good, steady, deep breaths. Keep those lower abs drawn in nice and tight. We're not gonna let them relax at any point. Good, all right. Then we're gonna go back to the beginning. So we're gonna go through the series one more time. We'll lengthen those legs out, open the hip, straight up, straight down. So exhale, inhale. Again, all the way up. And then as we lower, we're pressing the leg down. Good, last one. And then we're gonna go straight up. Hinge at the knee, bring the toe all the way down, and slide and reach. And again, you wanna make sure that the neck and shoulders are staying relaxed. You want that knee to point up toward the ceiling. Good, let's go ahead and reverse. So again, slide all the way up, straighten, and reach. Again, keep that bottom leg lengthened and activated. And again, we're sliding up as high as we can before we reach out. Good, all right, then we're gonna bring that leg up to the height of the hip, keeping the hip just slightly open. We're reaching straight out to the front, straight behind, so nice and controlled. Again, the upper body should stay completely stable. We're focusing on using the muscles in the back of the leg to pull behind without arching or shifting the hip. Good, steady, deep breaths. Good, all right, so last one on this side. We'll bend our knees, bring our feet to the back of the mat, and keeping our feet pressed together, we'll open and rotate, lengthen out, bend, and down. So again, open, reach and extend, down, and close. Good, so again, keep the movement controlled, extending and hinging at that knee. Good, all right. Let's go on to our hands and knees. Check to see how we're doing on time here. Okay, so we want to bring our hands right under the shoulders. Knees are going to stay hips width apart. We're going to draw in and up on those lower abs so that we keep a flat back. We're not arching or curling up. We're just keeping it nice and flat, drawing in those abs. We're going to go ahead and reach opposite arm and opposite leg out. So again, we're drawing up on those abs, keeping the arm lifted, and we're going to lift and lower the leg. If you find that this is a little bit too challenging, just go ahead and bring the opposite hand down to help with stability. But we're keeping the abs drawn in, back nice and flat, but at the same time, lifting as high as we can with the leg without arching that back. So steady, deep breaths. Good, let's go to the opposite side. So again, opposite arm, opposite leg. And again, we'll lower and lift. Reach and lengthen through the fingers and toes. Drawing in and up on those abdominals. Again, we want to keep the head lifted, but the chin nodded in toward the chest. Good, steady, deep breaths. Try to keep that body nice and square. All right, let's lower down. So again, we'll keep those hands right under the shoulders, lower abs drawn in and lifted. We're gonna go ahead and reach the opposite leg out. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna go ahead and curl, out, down, and then we're gonna pull it under the body. So we're reaching out, up, curl, out, down, and under. So we're pretty much going in all directions with that leg. Again, drawing in those lower abs, keeping the movement controlled. Again, we're curling, lengthening out, lowering, and pulling under. So again, lots to think about. Just try to keep that upper body nice and square. Last one on this side. Good, all right, we'll switch to the opposite side. And again, if this bothers your wrists, just go ahead and go up onto the knuckles. See if that's more comfortable. So knees are staying hips width apart, hands right under the shoulders. We're gonna go ahead and reach the opposite leg out. So again, we're lifting up, we're curling in, out, down, and under. So back out, we're lifting up, we're curling, lowering, and pulling under. So again, up, curl, out, down, and under. So again, just reaching pretty much in all directions that we can with that leg. Again, we want to draw in the lower abdominals and keep the body square. You want to make sure that you're not leaning to one side. Good, last one on this side. Good. All right, let's lean back. Stretch out the wrists a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and go back onto our hands once more. So we're gonna go ahead and if you're gonna stay on your knees, you're gonna bring those knees back a little bit, lean forward again so you have a nice straight line from the shoulders down to the knees. For more of a challenge, you can go up onto your feet, but what we're gonna do, regardless of what your leg position is, we're gonna lower down, pull the elbows into sides, and then press right back up. So exhale down, inhale up. So again, you can be down on the knees, keeping a nice straight line down the side of the body, pulling the elbows into the sides, or you're up on the feet. You want even more of a challenge, you can lift up one leg at a time and alternate sides as you lower. Steady deep breaths, draw in and lift those lower abs. Good, all right. Let's stretch back. All right, onto our backs. All right, so we're gonna lie all the way down. So let's start off pulling the shoulders down, away from the ears. Draw in the lower abdominals nice and tight. We're gonna lift both legs up, keeping our knees bent. And then let's go ahead and lift head and shoulders, nod the chin in. We're gonna reach the arms up, out to the sides, and down. Again, up, to the sides, and down. So the head stays stable and lifted. Chin nodded into the chest. We also want to keep those legs lifted. Let's reverse directions. Good, keep that head lifted. Chin nodded into the chest. Good, let's lower down. And hug the knees in toward the chest. All right, so again, let's go ahead and lift head and shoulders, nod the chin, lengthen the arms down to the sides. We're gonna bring one leg up with the knee bent. Opposite leg is gonna lengthen out, and then we're just gonna lower and lift the leg. So upper body stays stable, shoulders lifted, chin nodded in toward the chest. Lengthen and reach that leg. And again, we wanna keep it controlled. Be careful that you're not rolling the shoulders. They should stay back. Let's switch to the opposite side. So again, a little lower and lift. Good, draw that navel in toward the spine. Work hard to keep the bent leg nice and stable. And breathe, exhale down, inhale up. Good, Good, let's lower down. Hug the knees in toward the chest. All right, so we're gonna do that same series again. So we'll lift head and shoulders, nod the chin. We're gonna go ahead and keep our both knees bent and press together. We'll circle around. Up, out to the side, down to the hips. So again, we want the shoulders lifted, chin gently nodded in, that head should stay stable. And then let's go ahead and reverse. So to the sides, up and down, good. Keep those shoulders lifted. Gonna feel the burn and breathe. Good, all right, let's go ahead and lower down. Hug the knees in. And again, we're gonna go ahead and lift head and shoulders. So again, we're not shrugging, we're using those abs to lift up, keeping the shoulders down, chin nodded in. Lengthen out, one knee is bent, opposite reaches, and we're gonna lower and lift that straight leg. And again, if this starts to put a lot of stress on your neck, you can always lower the upper body down onto the mat. Steady, deep breaths. Good, keep those shoulders lifted and breathe. All right, let's switch to the opposite side. Again, exhale down, inhale up. Those arms should stay lengthened and activated. Good, steady, deep breaths. Last one. Good, let's hug the knees in and hold. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sit back up. So we're gonna bring our hands behind the hips with fingers facing in toward the hips. We're gonna try to straighten the arms, lengthen the legs out. We're just sliding away from the body. So if this puts a lot of stress on your wrists, you can go all the way down onto the shoulders as well. So what we want to do, again, is straighten the arms. We don't want to roll forward like this. We want to make sure we're opening the chest, at the same time lengthening the arms. We're digging the heels into the mat, lifting our hips, and we'll hold. So keep the hips lifted, arms lengthened, gently nod that chin. Steady, deep breaths. Good, work hard to keep yourself lifted. And again, you can be doing the same thing down on the elbows if this puts too much stress on your wrists. Let's lower back down. All right, so again, same thing. We're gonna go ahead, lengthen our arms, lengthen the legs, lift our hips and hold. Again, you can be down on the elbows, you can be up on the hands. If you want even more of a challenge, you can lift up one leg at a time and alternate sides. Steady, deep breaths. You want to keep the chin nodded in toward the chest. Make sure you're not looking up. That puts a lot of stress on the neck. Good, and let's go ahead and lower down. All right, so we're gonna go back down onto our backs. So let's keep our knees bent, legs about hips width apart. So we're gonna keep our feet directly under the knees, lengthen our arms down to the sides. So we wanna, again, open the chest, but make sure that the upper back is staying anchored. We're going to tuck the pelvis, lift the hips. So we're lifting up so that we create a nice straight line down the side of the body. So from the knee down to the shoulder. We wanna make sure that the upper back stays on the mat. So we're not arching the upper back way up, right? We're tucking the pelvis, trying to flatten that lower back, but at the same time, keeping the upper back anchored. And we're just gonna hold, take some nice, steady, deep breaths. Should be able to roll the head from side to side, just to make sure the neck muscles are staying relaxed. Again, keep that pelvis tucked so that we're not arching the lower back. Hips should stay lifted. And then keeping the upper back anchored, slowly roll down. Feel each part of the spine and the back press down all the way until that lower back right, so again, keep the upper back anchored, tuck the pelvis, lift our hips. And again, we want to try to keep those hips lifted, but at the same time, so we're not arching the back, a nice flat back. So you can hold stable, or if you want more of a challenge, you can reach one leg straight out, away from the body, keeping those hips lifted and level, and hold. Or again, you can just stay down, keeping that pelvis tucked, hips lifted and hold. And if you've got a leg lifted, go ahead and switch over to the opposite side. Good, check that neck. Make sure it's staying relaxed. If you've got a leg lifted, go ahead and lower the leg. And we're gonna go ahead and slowly roll all the way down until that lower back presses tight into the mat. All right, so once more, chest stays open, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips. Again, keep that lower back nice and flat. So again, we can hold stable. If you do want a little bit more of a challenge, again, tuck that pelvis, keep the upper back anchored, lift up onto the balls of the feet, and lower back down. So again, up and down. Keep those arms lengthened and reaching. Check the neck, make sure it's staying relaxed. And again, or you can just be holding stable, keeping that pelvis lifted, upper back anchored. Nice, steady, deep breaths. Good, and then let's go ahead and one last time, slowly roll all the way down, again, until that lower back presses down tight. Okay, let's bring both arms straight out to the sides with the palms facing up. Straighten the left leg, press it all the way down. Right leg is reaching straight up toward the ceiling, and then like we did at the beginning, we're circling around. So out to the side as far as you can, down, across, and up. Reaching as far as you can all the way through the movement, but keeping the rest of the body nice and stable. Let's reverse directions. All right, let's lower down. Switch to the opposite side. So again, arms stay lengthened, press tight into the floor. Right leg is anchored, left leg lifts up. Same thing, we're circling around. So we're across, up, out to the side, and down, nice and controlled. Keep the neck relaxed, rest of the body stable. Let's reverse. Good, keep those arms activated and reaching. Good, and we'll lower down. All right, we're gonna bend our knees, and let's go ahead and hug the knees in toward the chest, and hold. So take some nice, full, deep breaths. Feel any tension or tightness release from the lower back or the hips. All right, let's bring our feet back down onto the mat. And then we want to go ahead and pull the shoulders down away from the ears, keeping a nice long neck. And then without lifting the head, we're drawing the chin in toward the chest. And then release. So again, we'll draw the chin in, lengthening and stretching the back of the neck. And release. You should feel a nice stretch down the back of the neck and even down between the shoulder blades. Good, all right, then we're gonna go ahead and stretch out that lower back again. So we're gonna tilt forward and tilt back. So again, go as far as you can in each direction just to help loosen up any tight spots you might still have in that lower back. again, steady deep breaths. Good, all right, we're gonna go ahead and move down to the hips. So we'll cross one leg over so the ankle sits right below the knee. Keeping that bottom leg bent, we're going to lift it up, grab around the thigh, pull in towards you and hold. So you're not lifting the back of the hips, you're just hinging, pulling in and hold. Again, take some nice full deep breaths. Feel some of that tightness release from the hip. Let's lower down. We'll switch over to the opposite side. Good. And again, take those full deep breaths. Keep the neck muscles relaxed. And again, you want to pull into a point where you feel a good stretch on this hip. Good. Let's lower down. We're going to lift one leg straight up toward the ceiling. Grab between the ankle and the knee. Flex the foot, keeping that leg lengthened. And then you want to go ahead and pull in toward you until you feel a good stretch on the back of the leg. Again, we're taking full deep breaths. We're going to stretch everything out, cool the body down. Each time you exhale, pull in a little bit deeper into that stretch. Switch over to the opposite side. So again, we're grabbing between the ankle and the knee, lengthening, pulling in, and hold. Again, if you can, each time you exhale, try to pull a little further or deeper into the stretch. Of course, you don't want to force anything. All right. Let's lower down. We're going to sit all the way up. And we'll sit up on the mat. We want to go ahead and bring the bottoms of the feet together. And you can either grab your feet or grab your ankles, whatever is most comfortable for you. And then you're going to take your arms or your elbows and gently press down to further open the hips. We're just going to hold those full deep breaths. Feel a good stretch on the inner thigh and the hip. All right, let's release up. So we're going to finish up stretching out the neck. So you can either sit on your mat or sit up in a chair, however it's most comfortable for you to sit up tall. So we'll sit up, gently slide the shoulder blades down, and we're just going to go ahead and pull the head to the side and back to the center. We're just going to alternate sides. So as you're pulling across, you don't want the shoulder to lift. You want it to stay pressed down. We're just going side to side, feeling a nice stretch down the side of the neck. Good. And again, keep those shoulders down. We really want to lengthen the distance between the shoulder and the ear as we're leaning across to the side. So keeping those shoulders gently pressed down, we'll go ahead and rotate the head from side to side. Again, going as far as you can to each side to loosen up any tension you might have. Okay, and then again, without lifting this opposite shoulder, we're keeping it pressed down. We're going to nod the chin in toward the shoulder as far as you can. You should feel a nice stretch down the side of the neck. Release up and alternate. Good. Again, steady deep breaths. Make sure those shoulders don't start to shrug up by the ears. Go ahead and roll the shoulders forward a couple of times and roll back. All right, so we are finished. So thank you so much for joining today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.